Hey guys, welcome back to Relatively Rich Life RV Edition, episode 4. And on this episode, we hit up our first harvest host boondocking experience. So if that's something that interests you, stay tuned.
For our first harvest host experience, like Henry said, we visited the Hampton Roads Winery in Elberon, Virginia. And going to this winery was actually a pretty exciting experience. For whatever reason, I just assumed, since it was called the Hampton Roads Winery, that it would just be somewhere like in Hampton. It's actually in a very unique location. The GPS was just kind of taking us through like cornfields and some pretty narrow roads that I'm sure you were kind of like...
Yeah, it was a little scary crossing another car. Actually, I had to pull over to the side so the other car can get through.
Some of those roads were really, really narrow. I'll tell you what, it was worth it driving to this winery because there was so much to look at, so much to take in. The scenery was beautiful. The weather was great for driving. And then when we arrived at the winery, the drive coming onto the property was lined by magnolia trees. I think there were 25 magnolia trees lining the drive in, which I thought was super beautiful.
How do you know there were 25?
Because we asked.
Oh, okay. As soon as we got there, the owner greeted us. His name is David. He basically told us to set up shop and come in, and then he waited for us to start a wine tasting with 2 other groups that were there before us.
And the interesting thing about that was that the winery was actually closed that day, which I didn't realize. Actually, we were kind of freaking out like, oh crap, did we make the reservation for the right day? But it ended up working out great because, like Henry said, there were 2 other harvest host guests there, and I think they were first time harvest host guests as well. So it was kind of like we had a unique private tasting. It was a lot of fun, and the wine was really good. I'll tell you what, that slushy, if you ever go there, get the wine slushy for sure. It's so good.
And they had one dessert wine that had a lot of kick. Remember,
it was like 18%. Yeah.
And then we tried it with a piece of chocolate. And it was interesting how your taste buds change. So definitely check out that winery if you're in that area. He basically lets you set up in this parking area. It's a graveled area. It's level, so you don't really have to worry about that. We didn't even disconnect. We just parked it, put our stabilizers down, and let out our awning. Yeah. And we just chilled out.
He does take you on a tour. I'm not saying he's going to do this every time. I'm not really sure how that works, but with our experience, he took us on a tour of the actual winery and his property. He has an amazing goat tower. The goats were pretty fun to look at and feed.
Mello had a little confrontation with one of them.
Yeah, the matriarch, Adrian.
I also flew my drone over the goats, and you'll see in the video that they were a little...
Yeah, they were like, what the heck is that thing?
They were a little freaked out by my drone.
And then they like ran in the tower, which was super cute.
Yeah, it was funny.
David also has Red Angus cattle, which was really cool. He does warn you that you shouldn't go over there trying to like get them to come out because they will get out, and he said that there's a couple bulls in there that will attack.
He's a big beast. Yeah. They're big.
It was fun to go over and take a look at them with him because I was nervous. There's a pond. There's like a sitting area outside of the actual winery. Lots of great things, knickknacks and merchandise that you can buy in the winery, wine glasses, paraphernalia. They have a lot of things to choose from. Yeah, I thought it was great. He established the vineyard in 2011, so they definitely have plans to expand the winery. They are definitely growing and acquiring more equipment to ramp up their production, but right now they do everything in-house. They do their own labeling, bottling, and things like that. It's a family-owned and family-run first-generation winery.
As far as the boondocking experience, I wish maybe that we had a little bit more space away from the other campers because you're allowed to run your generators at night because you don't have any hookups, right? So we had a little generator and we ran ours. Ours was fine. It didn't bother me at night, but the RVers next to us had a pretty loud generator in their bus.
Class A. Mm-hmm.
It was like a bus.
It was very nice.
but their generator was loud. I kind of had a rough night sleeping that night.
I slept like a baby, but yeah, Henry had a hard time sleeping.
In hindsight, I wish we could have parked that in the field somewhere or something like that.
But also next to the parking area, there was a hammock set up and a picnic table as well, which I thought was a nice touch to boondocking there. So if you are planning to visit Hampton Roads Winery, one tip that we can give you is to make sure you grab a thermocell device or something like that, because we did encounter a ton of mosquitoes at this particular location. So we actually have a thermocell, and for whatever reason I forgot to put it out that night, and so we ended up having to deal with a ton of mosquitoes in the trailer, which was not fun because I was trying to like find them all, which was like impossible. But you know, just keep that in mind. There will be mosquitoes and things like that.
Yeah, which is, it's the country, right?
Right.
It's to be expected. We had a great experience though. These owners are very accommodating.
Yes, our first experience with Harvest Host was a great one, and we're actually going to do our second Harvest Host within the next week or so, so we will definitely keep you posted on that experience as well. Alright guys, so I hope that this video has been helpful. If so, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you will get all of our latest videos as soon as they're uploaded.
And on that note,
we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.